energy to nest. And also you can see that the clean cooking fuel in India, only 43.8 percentage of the households are using the clean cooking fuel, and almost more than the 50% are still using the uh, the fuel which creates a lot of pollution and all. So that also to be considered. Next. Yeah, and coming to the scenario, energy scenario in India, you can see that India's energy scenario is marked by rapidly expanding and diversified power sector with the total installed capacity approximately 490 gigawatts by July 2025. So a strong shift towards the renewable sources like solar, wind, and ongoing dependency on the coal are to be cut, and we have to look into the renewable sources. While coal remains dominant, renewable capacity has surged, driven by the government targets of 500 gigawatts by 2030 and a net zero goal by 2070, significantly contributing to the energy security and reducing fossil fuel reliance. So by 2070, the environment should be, having a zero carbon dioxide emitted into the atmosphere. So India is the third largest electricity producer globally. During the fiscal year 2023-24, the total electricity generation in the country was 1,949 trillion watts per hour, of which 1,734 trillion watts per hour utilities. The gross electricity generation per capita in financial year 2023 to 24 was 1,395 kilowatts per hour. The primary consumption of energy in India to double as gross domestic production is expected to expand to 8.6 trillion years by 2040. So when you compare to that, it is very 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 ours is the third largest one. So India is the third largest electricity producer, as I already told you that, and the global energy demand growth is largest for India between 2019 and 2040, as it accounts for nearly one quarter of it. Because now, Viksit Bharat is a slogan which was taken by the our honorable Prime Minister, and under that, the India is industrially growing, and a lot of the energy requirement is also grown to the many folds when you compare to the previous years. So the India has the second largest growth when you take the renewable energy. India to become the third largest energy consumer by 2030, as I am quoting each and every time. So industrialization in India is to be a major driver, leading it to account for almost 20% of the global growth in industrial value added, and to lead the global growth in industrial final energy consumption, especially steel making by 2040. So India's oil import will could double by 2030. So there are no oil reserves much, and you know that in America also putting some constraints on India not to purchase the oil from various countries, and that is also affected the economy in recent years. The demand for natural gas to triple and go beyond by 2040. That is the foreseen by for the natural gas. So India's energy sector is dominated by coal, and its demand is set to rise from 590 metric ton to 772 metric tons by 2040. So another 200 years, you know that the coal reserves will be exhausted, and we have to depend on the green and renewable energies. And this will give the electricity consumption of India. So India is the third largest electricity consumable, and also per capita electricity consumption per unit is 805, but still it places the lot of energy requirements in the future. Next. And here at present, you can see that the carbon dioxide emission into the atmosphere, the India is also contributing on par with the other countries, and the world average is 4.42 carbon dioxide is being emitted into the environment because of that, global warming, and also you can see that there is a lot of you know the uh, disadvantages, and the one of the main thing is when you just burn the carbon, and there is a sulfur which is also emitted into the air, and which is almost contributing the 20% in the air, and it is increasing every year up to the 2 to 3% into the ambient air, and it causes the acid rains, and that has a lot of disasters in the future. So the concept by 2030, as per the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, so the zero emission, net zero of the carbon dioxide should be there in the environment. Next. So these are the certain things, and which are just um, hearing the future, and what are the sources which we have. If we just see that the renewable and non-renewable, and in certain cases energy mix, combination of the renewable non-renewable resources also being used. So when you take the non-renewable resources, oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear energy will be in forefront, and oil is now uh, being used extensively, and vehicles are going and we know that in each household there are at least one car, and so a lot of oil consumption is there, and also the natural gas, and this natural gas now is being used for the cooking also. So it's apart from the cooking, and it is being used to produce many chemicals synthetically, so that will be also drastically being used, and it is being reduced its production and its availability. And coal, as you know, that coal is also in another 250 years, all coal reserves will be exhausted. And nuclear energy, so lot of the research has to be done, and it is not put completely in use so far, even though certain plants are there, and it is under the development only. Then coming to the dominant of the non-renewable resources, you can see 34 to 37% as oil is being used, and 25% as coal, 22-23% as natural gas, and 6% uranium is being used right now, and which will be making up 85% of the world's energy use. Next. Yeah, these are the certain data which you can look at. This one, the total installed capacity out of the 308 gigawatts, thermal will be 187.5, and renewable 46.4, and hydro is 43.1, and gas is 25.1, and nuclear is 5.8. So they share the percentages which are given, and they are being produced. And Indian renewable energy power sectors, the total capacity is now 46.4 gigawatts, and then you can see the wind is 28.3 and solar is 8.7 and biomass is 5.0 and SHP, this is a small hydropower, and that is 4.4 and the total would be the 46.4 is the renewable sources through which the energy is being produced in India. And this has to be increased a lot, and also to meet the needs of the population and the industrial utilization, and also it has to produce zero emissions. So keeping these two in mind, then the sustainable energy sources we have to develop. Then just to see the certain things, the coal, first one is the oil. Oil contributes, as I told, 27.7% Asia Pacific, and main sources of energy in North, South, and Central America, Europe, and you know Eurasia, Middle East, and Africa. Coal, oil is the main one, and oil is highly available in the Middle East, so it accounts 51%. Then coming to the coal, you all know that it is mined by open cast mining or long tunnels and burned to provide heat or to create electricity by turning turbines in power stations. And this produces a lot of pollution, and NOx and SOx gases will be emitted into the environment. Those are green gases, and which will be affecting the climate. And the advantages are plentiful supply and easy to transport as a solid, no processing is required, relatively cheap to mine and convert to the energy. But disadvantage cannot be replaced once used. Burning releases carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, contain 10% sulfur, which can form sulfur dioxide and acid rain. And apart from that, you can also have a particles of soot from the burning coal can cause smog. And now a lot of solid waste is being used in the cogenerative plant, and which produces a lot of smog, and which is having a small particles, and which will be very harmful, and they are creating the lung diseases and etc. So coal mines lead to degraded land and pollution. So these two are the disadvantages. Next. Then the natural gas, methane gas and other hydrocarbons trapped in the rock, extracted by drilling, often found in the crude oil, used directly in homes for heating and cooking. So advantages, highest heat of consumption, lots of energy gained from it, ready-made fuel, no processing required, relatively cheap form of energy, cleaner than the coal or oil. Disadvantages, only a limited supply of gas with an estimated 70 years remaining, also gives of carbon dioxide, but only half of the produced by the coal. Next, the nuclear energy forms of smallest contribution in Asia Pacific, as I told. So important in Europe and Eurasia and North America. So these are the about non-renewable sources. Then coming to the renewable sources. Next. So hydroelectricity and wind energy, biofuels, solar power, geothermal energy, and tidal energy, and fuel wood. So out of this, the wind energy and solar power is gaining importance in India. So 15% comes from the renewable energy sources are being now utilized, and lot of focus by India has put on the solar and wind energy. And apart from that, the biofuels, which are solid waste, municipal solid waste, by incinerating and all those things also doing. And the tidal energy contributes a very small and along with the geothermal energy. So next. So when you just see that the four, hydroelectric power stations, power nations, that China, Canada, Brazil, and USA, so they form 50% of the global consumption. And the hydroelectric power energy that comes from the movement of water through the rivers, lakes, and dams to power turbines to generate the electricity. High quality energy output compared to the low quality energy output. So it creates water reserves as well as energy supplies. Reservoirs can also be used for recreation. Safety record is good. So this is about hydroelectric power, and it is costly to build, and also lot of maintenance is required, and the it occupies the lot of landscapes. Dams can be a major impact on the local hydrology. So all those things are risky things, and some of risks are when the flooding comes and the dam may burst. Next. So wind is one of the major upcoming area where India is also putting lot of effort to get the wind energy. So wind turbines turn wind energy into the electricity, usually found as many together in the wind farms. Clean supply of energy. This gives the green energy once turbines are made. Little maintenance. Maintenance is very little, and need the wind to blow. Often windy sites are not near populated areas. Manufacture of the wind farms can be costly. Noise pollution. Some local people complain that it spoils the countryside, and maybe some birds are killed by the turbines which are moving. So worldwide capacity of the wind energy is 2 lakhs megawatts, and global wind report 2010 estimates reports that doubling in 3 to 4 years, dominated only in small number of countries. China is having a capacity of 22.7% of the global capacity. So next one. So we'll just, if you take the 10 major wind power plants in India, so they are you know can you read them? Yeah, they are at Tamil Nadu, which is the uh, Muppandal wind farm, and Tamil Nadu tops the list of the states with the largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country. Share of wind power in electricity generation was around 28% in 2018. Total wind capacity at the end of 2018 stood at 8.631 megawatts, while its total capacity generation uh, by the end of 2018, it has reached to the 30,447 megawatts. So if you just add all the the capacities of all plants, and it will be very high. And Gujarat is also having. Gujarat houses the second largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country, and which share of wind power in electricity generation was around 19% in 2018. Maharashtra, which is the third largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country. Then the Karnataka, it houses the fourth largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country. Then next followed by the Rajasthan. Rajasthan houses the fifth largest installed wind power generation capacity in the country. Wind contributes around 20% of the total electricity generated in the state. So that's how the uh, statistics about the wind energy. So initially, the government had national wind power policy, but subsequently both the onshore and offshore wind policies were developed. So what about this onshore and offshore? For offshore wind energy, India has a very vibrant policy that came up in October 2015, known as National Offshore Wind Energy Policy Framework. The objective of this policy is to develop offshore wind energy in the Indian exclusive economic zone along the Indian coastal line. So this is occupying almost 30 to 40% of the total wind power capacity. Then coming to the another project that is onshore. So it is a another policy which is also issued in 2018, and there is a mix with solar, which is called the solar wind hydro hybrid policy. Solar wind hybrid policy. The main objective of this policy is to provide a framework for the promotion of the large grid connected wind, solar, photovoltaic hybrid system for optimal and efficient utilization of the wind and solar resources, transmission infrastructure, and land. The wind solar PV hybrid system will help in reducing the variability in renewable power generation and achieving the better grid ability. So these are the certain policies made by the India in 2018. So the major advantages of the wind is the which is a renewable and green energy, and we can use at a low cost, and you can also say that low cost energy. Although wind turbines have high upfront cost, the energy they produce is very clean and cheap energy when you compare with the non-renewable sources. Then it is a green energy. Why it is green energy? Generating the energy using the wind turbines does not emit any greenhouse gases. So that's why it is also a green energy. Then coming to the next, the solar energy. Go to the next one. Yeah, solar. The conversion of the solar radiation into the electrical energy via chemical energy, and potentially infinite energy supply. Single dwellings can have their own electricity supply, safe to use, low quality energy converted to the high. Manufacture and implementation of the solar panels can be costly, need sunshine, do not work in the dark. So these are the certain disadvantages. Next one. Go to the next. Yeah, these are the again 10 major solar power parks in India. So if you just see that the first one is Badla Solar Park. So this is there in Rajasthan, and Badla Solar Park is the world's the largest solar park located in India, which is spread over a total area of 14,000 acres in Badla. So that is the Jodhpur districts in Rajasthan, and the region has been described as almost unlivable. So it is described as the people are unlivable there due to its climate. Therefore it has been used for the solar park, and average temperatures in Badla over between the 46 to 48 degrees Celsius. So hot winds and the sand storms occur frequently. Badla is a sandy, dry, and also desert area with an about 45 kilometers square. So the solar park, which is built in the Badla, has a total capacity of 2,245 megawatts, which is a huge one. So this is the highest in India. When its full capacity is operational, the park will become the world's largest fully commissioned photovoltaic project with the investment rising rupees 10,000 crores. So that is a investment which has been put on that. Then, then the second one is which is there in Maharashtra and also the Karnataka. That is the Pavagada Solar Park. That is the second largest one, and which is built in 13,000 acres in Pavagada Taluk, Tumkur districts of the Karnataka state. The solar power park which is built there has the capacity of 2050 megawatts and is the world's second largest photovoltaic solar park after 2045 megawatts Badla Solar Park in Rajasthan. It was completed in 2019 and now it is under the production. The third one is Kurnool Ultra Mega Solar Park, which is in Andhra Pradesh and where we live, in the Rayalaseema area. The Kurnool Ultra Mega Solar Park is a solar park spread over a total area of 5,932 acres, almost 6,000 acres, and in Panyam Mandal of Kurnool district with a capacity of 1,000 megawatts. So the park was built at an investment of around 7,000 crores by 7,000 crores of rupees by solar power developers and the central and state governments. It was commissioned on 29th March 2017. So it was commissioned on 29 March 2017 and owned by Andhra Pradesh Solar Power Corporation Private Limited. Okay. There is another solar park which is also there in Rayalaseema, which is NP Kunta Ultra Mega Power Solar Park, and which is also built in 7,924 acres in Nambula Pulakunta Mandal and Anantapur districts of Andhra Pradesh. It was commissioned in May 2012 and is owned by Andhra Pradesh Solar Power Corporation Private Limited. Then Reva Ultra Mega Solar. Reva Ultra Mega Solar is the first solar project in the country to break the grid parity barrier. It is one of the largest solar power plant in India and Asia largest single site solar plant. Reva Ultra Mega Solar Limited, the implementing agency of the project, is a joint venture between the Madhya Pradesh Urja Vikas Nigam Limited and the Solar Energy Corporation of India. So these two are, having a partnership and established and developed this solar park. Reva is the first project in India to be supplying power to an interstate open access customer, Delhi Metro. The power is supplied by the Reva Ultra Mega Solar Power, Solar Limited. This is also the first project in India where solar power would be used for railway traction. The project got World Bank Group's President's Award for Excellence for its transaction structure. Then we have another 5 projects which are also, under the utilization, but Rayalaseema area in Andhra Pradesh and also in some of the areas in Telangana, the solar power plants are coming now. It is being also constructed on the rooftop solar voltaic cells, and they are also catering the small needs of the that particular organization or industry. So such type of the projects are being developed in elsewhere in India, and they are producing up to 30 to 35% of the the utilization of the power which is being consumed by that particular area. So this is about the solar power plants across the India. Next. Yeah, then tidal power and fuel power, they are next. Go to the next. Yeah, factors affecting the non-renewable resources oil, as I already told, but we will just take into the few of them. And one is the changes in demand and changes in price fluctuation and instability. So these are the two different factors which affects a lot regarding the non-renewable resources availability as well as the prices across the world. If something happens somewhere, then immediately there is a fluctuation in the oil cost. So that you can forego if you are, just exploring the possibilities of the solar and wind powers. Next. Yeah, the what are the key aspects of the uh, scenario of Indian energy? India has one of the world's most diverse power sector, utilizing a mix of conventional sources like coal, hydro, and nuclear, and renewable like solar, wind, and biomass. Dominance of the coal and growing oil imports that we have already discussed. Then the rapid growth in renewable. India is making substantial progress in renewable energy with solar and wind power leading the expansion. This growth is crucial for meeting the energy demands and achieving the climate targets. So capacity and targets. I installed capacity by July 2025. The total installed power capacity in India reached around 490 gigawatts. The renewable energy targets. India aims to achieve 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel based energy capacity by 2030. But out of that, I think 80% of that we have reached so far, and maybe another 20% we may reach by another, 5 years. Net zero goal. The long-term national goal is to reach the net zero carbon emissions by 2070. So this has to be goal, and this has to be. So what are the challenges to reach these things? India has a high dependence on imported crude oil and natural gas, which poses challenges for energy security. Then another one is energy access and grid modernization. So the technologies are being modified, and you have to means get those technologies and implement in the uh, generation of the renewable energy. Ensuring universal energy access, especially in rural and remote areas, and modernizing the national electricity grid are critical ongoing tasks. And climate change and transition. Managing the transition away from the fossil fuels to a more sustainable, low carbon energy system is a significant challenge requiring continuous innovation and policy support. So these are the certain challenges. So thanks for your attention, and thank you one and all. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Any any questions? Participants, please ask. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, one and all. I wish you all the best and happy belated Teachers' Day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Happy Teachers' Day for you
Thank you, sir.
also. It's my privilege. It's my privilege to thank Professor V. Venkata Basava Rao Garu for informative and expertise on sustainable energy sources in India. Greatly enriched the participants' learning. We truly appreciate the time and effort you dedicated to our program. Once again, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Amma. Okay, close.
Dear participants, after your online exam, go to your ATAL portal, participants login page, then select feedback menu in the left side of the page. Give your feedback, then only you will get your certificate. And now we are sending Google form, answer it. Based on your exam marks and attendance, you will get certificate. Please join the meeting at 7:30 for validatory function. Thank you one and all. So once again, we will meet you at 7:30 for validatory function. Now only I am sending that Google form. First, you need to answer it. After that, please fill the feedback form today only. Thank you.